Good morning, students. In this session, we are going to deal with a special thermodynamic process which is called quasi-static process. So, before coming to the quasi-static process, let us say some more things. In the last section, we were dealing with specific heats. And we told gases have two types of specific heat, Cp and Cv, and Cp is greater than Cv. And I told you to refer the previous video from the chapter Thermal Properties of Matter. So, why Cp is greater than Cv? When the gas is heated at constant pressure, in order to keep the pressure constant, work is done by the gas for expanding. So, heat supplied is used to increase the internal energy and for do the work in expansion. So, more amount of heat is supplied for the rise in temperature. Whereas in Cv, when gas is heated at constant volume, the heat supplied is only utilized to increase the internal energy. So, temperature can rise up easily. Temperature can rise up easily. Therefore, we can say for the same rise in temperature, the amount of heat supplied is more when the gas is heated at constant pressure. That is why we say Cp greater than Cv. Now, since gases have two types of specific heat, we can take the specific heat ratio. Specific heat ratio is given by the term gamma. Specific heat ratio is given by the term gamma, and gamma is equal to Cp by Cv. Specific heat at constant pressure by specific heat at constant volume. That is called gamma. Now, for a monoatomic gas, Cv is equal to 3 by 2 R and Cp is equal to 5 by 2 R, where R is universal gas constant. So, Cv is 3 by 2 R, Cp is 5 by 2 R. So, when I divide Cp by Cv, gamma will be 1.67. Similarly, for a diatomic gas, the value of Cv is 5 by 2 R and Cp is 7 by 2 R. Therefore, Cp by Cv is gamma, which is 1.4. Now, triatomic gas. Triatomic gas is of two types, linear triatomic and non-linear triatomic. So, first I write here triatomic gas. First one is non-linear triatomic gas. So, for that, Cp is equal to 9 by 2 R and Cv is equal to 7 by 2 R. Therefore, gamma is equal to Cp by Cv, 9 by 7, which is 1.28. Now, the second thing is linear triatomic gas. This is linear, and now we are writing non-linear. This value I gave is for linear triatomic gas, and now we are doing non-linear. Cp is equal to 4R, Cv is equal to 3R. So gamma is equal to Cp by Cv, which is 4 by 3, 1.33. So this value, this is the gamma for nonlinear, and this is gamma for linear triatomic molecule. And here in monoatomic you study that fractional value also. When I divide this, I am getting 5 by 3. So 5 by 3 is 1.67. Similarly here 7 by 2 divided by 5 by 2, that is 7 by 5, which is 1 by 4. So why I am giving fraction and also the decimal value? Because sometimes in the numericals putting the fraction will be easier to calculate. So that is why I am giving the fraction also. Usually when we do the numericals, it is always better to take the fraction and calculate, because then the cancelling will be possible. Okay, so plus just note down all these specific heat ratio values, and all these values you have to learn by heart. Now we are going to discuss about quasi-static process. What is meant by quasi-static process? The process is almost static, like static. It is not static, it is like static. That means the process is taking place very slowly, so that the system will always be in thermodynamic equilibrium at all the stages, all the successive stages. I am just giving you an example. Whenever we say about thermodynamics, we have to say about gases. So imagine a cylinder and a piston. Now the piston can be moved up and down. I just keep 1000 gram mass on the piston, each of 1000 masses on the piston, each of 1 gram. Okay, I just kept 1000 masses on the piston, each of 1 gram. So the gas is compressed. Now I am just taking one mass slowly. If I take 1 mass, 1 gram mass, what is the remaining mass on the piston? 999. Will the piston come up according to you? What do you think? 1000 gram, now it became 999. So will the piston come up? We cannot identify with our eyes. The piston may come up very little. We can't identify the change. The change in the pressure and volume is almost unidentifiable. Now take again 1 more gram, take again 1 more gram. Like that, slowly you take 1 gram mass each. After taking the 1000th mass, the piston, which was already compressed, is slowly coming up, and the gas is slowly expanding. At the same time, the gas is slowly expanding. And when the 1000th mass is removed, the piston will be at this position and the gas is maximum expanded also. But at every stage of this expansion, the process is very slow, so that the gas will always remain in thermal equilibrium, and we can say it is also in thermodynamical equilibrium. Such kind of process is called quasi-static process. So there is a change in pressure and change in volume, but their change is very small. So it is not at all significant. Such kind of process is called quasi-static process. So the characteristic of the system to be quasi-static. The first one, it should be extremely slow. Second one, there should not be any accelerated motion or not large temperature gradient. Temperature gradient means delta T, T2 minus T1, that is called temperature gradient. There should not be a temperature difference. I am not using the word there should not be any temperature difference. I am using the word very negligible difference. Similarly, pressure and volume also, there is a very negligible change we can't identify. At the final stage, as I told you, initially the piston was here, at the final stage piston is here. The final stage and initial stage is highly varying, but individual stages are unidentifiable for a quasi-static process. So the temperature of the surrounding reservoir and the external pressure differ only infinitesimally from the temperature and pressure of the system. Infinitesimally means very small value. The external pressure differ only infinitesimally from the temperature and pressure of the system. Okay, so we will deal with isothermal and adiabatic expansion in the next session. Okay, thank you.